Okay, well, guys, I'm sorry that this kind of has to be like not, Hi,
Hi,
Alice. I'm so glad you're
I'm
here.
super pumped.
Yay! I've heard all about you. I've heard
You're so sweet, girl. I've heard lots about you too.
and you're so beautiful.
Oh
That,
my
if you're like me, both of you are
gosh,
beautiful, right?
stop.
So awesome. I'm glad you're here. So with Clearly Confident, we have a lab tonight. It's like the only way that we could do it, starting at 8:45. So I have I always have thoughts and material and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna kind of like dive in, and y'all just like. If you have thoughts or questions, like just throw them in the chat and then I'll kind of come back. Usually, Ellis, it's super conversational and we have like a moment where we like talk to each other and then we kind of get into it. This is only for 5 weeks, so it's not forever. It's just kind of how it has to be right now. So yeah, we are going to talk about emerald to diamond. Now, I usually don't like to talk about stuff like this, just not that I don't like to, but I just like to have the mindset of like sharing and helping and making it a gift and all of that. But this is something that I'm working towards and growing my team, growing my rank, growing all of that because I'm learning at the end of the day that's the way that you're going to build a business. So that's kind of like what I share with y'all. It's like what I'm working on, and I love that we like can work on the same stuff together. So by the way, I wanted to show you guys something really quick. Do you see this right here? This was my first Coach Basics training, literally front and back. It's like 20 pages front and back how I would do this, and I would like read it on Facebook Live in a group. Isn't that crazy?
Love it.
TBT, literally. Okay, sorry, I had to show that. Other than also, this book is really good. The Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. It is bomb. Okay, it's bomb. Y'all need to get it. Okay, so I feel like that right now, everyone, like I follow all my coaches and I try to watch their stories. It's hard because it just time consuming. But what I'm noticing and what I see is that everyone is like so focused on getting challengers and clients, me too, because I feel like that's where it starts, right? But I'm learning that I'm really good at running programs. Like I have like a separate Lift Forward group right now, and I love the way that it's going. I'm like keeping an eye on everybody, and that's been really fun. But I really want us all to become confident in sharing the business opportunity and teaching coaches how to share the opportunity as well. So this is a video that I want you to take notes on and listen to and rewatch to be able to share with your coaches in this way as well. Okay. So this is my analogy, and I thought about Mary Alice because she actually has a garden. But I know for me, like when I see, like, okay, so when we go see Austin's family, they have the most amazing garden, and almost everything that we eat is straight from the garden. Okay, and it's the coolest thing to me because I'm a city girl. We don't do that in the city. And I'm always like, man, I wish I had a garden. Like, I wish that could go in my backyard and just like pick vegetables. Like, how amazing would that be? But here's the thing. Something that Austin is always reminding me of, and he's like, hey, you're not taking into account what Nanny and Papa is what we call them, what Nanny and Papa do every single day, right? They are watering every day. They're picking weeds. They're tending. They are doing the hard work. And having a garden is a lot of work. Mary Alice would agree with that. And I just feel like everyone wants one. Like the idea of a garden is like so amazing, but no one is seeing the gardeners show up every single day. You just come for the Thanksgiving meal that I come and get to enjoy, but I don't see the hard work, right? So I know that I feel like sometimes, me included, I look at someone's end result, right? And I'm not looking at the sacrifice and the discipline and the hard work that has taken to get there. Why isn't this working? Sorry, guys. Oh, crap. Wait, oh gosh, hold on. Oh, crap. Okay, sorry. Okay, so another thing I want you to think about, okay? So this is me included. Like I'm sharing this with you because I'm reminding myself, right? If you want something different, you have to do something different. So take a look at your social media. I'm doing this as well. What can I do differently? Look at your invites. Do more. Go out and find your tribe. That's something that I'm doing. I'm literally handpicking people that have done my programs that I follow, whatever. And I'm making sure everybody's muted. And I'm asking them, like, specifically. I'm not doing a huge, like, big ask, but I'm going to specific people and I'm like, hey, you, maybe not in this way, but I'm like, you're on my list. Like, I want you. I am hand picking you. The vital behaviors it's not enough, right? So the vital behaviors, which is like be a product of the product, whatever, the same posts, the same stories every single time. You can't expect anything different if you're not doing anything different. I know for me, like we all work in our business differently, okay? And I think that is something that we should do. We should all, you might be a mom, you might be in college, whatever you have going on in your life, you may not be able to work it the same way that I work it, and that is totally fine. We're all striving for different things, right? We're all striving for, maybe it's just to make a little bit of extra money, maybe just to make full-time income, whatever that looks like. But each month, I sit back and I look and I'm like, okay, how could I even like work harder than I did last month? Like, I don't understand how I can do that. I feel like every single month I'm like, man, I gave it my all. Man, I gave it my all. I can't even do it anymore. But I can't do it anymore, but I can't find a way to do it even harder than I did the last month, right? But I always end up finding a way. I find something new and I find something better, and I keep having better and better numbers, which is like so awesome. Remember, it's a wave. Waves happen. It's going to go up and down. But I just feel like there's always something that could be done better, right? Or it could be done differently. Let's think of it that way. That could be done differently. That could be done more. That could be done more often. That could be done in a bigger and different way. So in February of this year, Austin barely even knows what Success Club means, okay? But I told him, I was like, hey, this is like a huge goal. And remember, like I said, he doesn't know what it means. He doesn't know that like Success Club, 20 is amazing, right? This is in February. I told Austin, I was like, hey, I want to make Success Club 50. I was like, I want to do that. I really want to push myself and make Success Club 50. And he looked at me, he said, you should make it 100. And I was like, it like upset me a little bit. I'm like, you don't know how hard that is. Well, that month I hit Success Club 62. And I would have gotten to 50 and I would have stayed there for sure if I didn't push myself. Every month I try to do better than the month before. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but I am at least pushed. So like if I hit 62, my goal is to hit 64 next month. If I hit 64, my goal is to hit 66. Like I just try and go up a little bit each and every month. I try to recruit better, not necessarily more, but recruit better coaches. But I do try to hit more Success Club each month. I do things that are scary. And I just feel like that the more you put yourself out there, the bigger your numbers are going to be. I saw Stephanie, your story today was amazing. You totally put yourself out there, and I bet you're going to get some people from that, which is so cool. Y'all need to go follow Stephanie. Stephanie, what is it? G Bishop? You can put it in the chat. So when I decided I was going to do Beachbody fully, okay, when I was like halfway doing it for like an entire year and a half, I honestly felt like I started to look at myself differently, just like looking in the mirror. I would look at myself differently. I thought differently. I saw myself as a CEO. I saw myself as a business owner, and it all just clicked. It's kind of like a fitness program. My dad always uses this example. He says that when he decided to do 80-Day Obsession, he said before he even put a bite of food in his mouth, before he even started anything that morning of 80-Day Obsession, he was brushing his teeth and he looked in the mirror and he decided he was going to follow through. He decided he was going to commit, and he decided he was going to do whatever it took to complete 80-day obsession. He said he didn't even do one workout. He hadn't taken one sip of water, but he woke up that morning and decided. And I feel like I associate and relate to that so much in my business. It literally happened overnight, seeing myself differently. I allowed it to change my life, right? You can like be one foot in, one foot out, whatever, but I actually like believed and allowed and looked at Beachbody open-handedly. And when you start to see the business as a gift and the program as a gift, you invite differently. And that's what it is for me. Like the gift of being able to like have the freedom to do what I want, when I want, work from home, make my own schedule. Like that is a gift. Like why wouldn't I offer that gift to everyone? There is a Macy out there that needs this like I did. There is a Stephanie out there. There's an Ellis out there. There's a Kelly. There is a Marriott. There's Nicole. There are all of yous out there that need this for whatever reason you needed it, whether it was a program, whether it was the business opportunity, whatever, someone needs it. And that's when you become more confident in sharing it. That's how I was. So like I said, whatever Beachbody did for you, someone else needs it. Stop thinking about recruitment and Success Club. And that's what I want to encourage you about. Because yes, I am talking about becoming a diamond, right? Emerald to diamond. Stop thinking about recruitment in Success Club and start thinking about how you can give this gift to, or who you can give this gift to. There's a friend of mine who does multi-level marketing as well. And she does Viseo, which is like vitamins, and actually I don't even know what it is, honestly. And she always is asking me, she's calling me, leaving me voicemails to come and be a part of her thing, her like calls, or come to her house to hear about the income, the passive income opportunity. That's what she keeps calling it, the passive. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, hey girl, I am literally doing what you're doing in a different way. Like, no, I'm like super clear, but I appreciate and respect her persistence. But the way she's always talking about it is the income. She's not talking about the products as a gift. She's not talking about the experience of building a business as a gift. Yes, like it's kind of like you work so hard and exercise and eating well. The body that comes with it, that's the cherry on top, right? What the good parts of exercise is the way it makes you feel. The good parts of eating well, again, is the way it makes you feel, the way you act, the way you treat people differently, the way you can like really live your life. That is the gift. The cherry on top is the body. Same with this business. Like the hustle is the best part. The journey is the best part. The cherry on top is the income that comes with it. And that's how I like to look at it. And that's how I think that, if you're like, for me, I was never thinking about money. I was just like, had my head down working. And I looked up and I was like, oh, okay, I'm actually like making money doing this. Wow. Okay. And I feel like that when you have that attitude of like, okay, this is a gift, I want to share it, I'm going to do whatever it takes to share it, it comes out so much more genuine and so much more differently. Being a product of the product, don't forget that importance, okay? The girls that are successful at this are the ones sharing in their stories and being open and honest and following through with something, okay? I follow some other Beachbody coaches, and I feel like so many of them are talking about how they've like never completed a program or like never completed like a nutrition. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, to be trustworthy, right? You need to finish something that you're leading. That's important. This is something that I keep trying to tell people who I feel like might be good coaches when they sign up. I am always encouraging them, and this is something I want y'all to start thinking about as people are signing up, okay? Sign up before you start sharing your journey. Like, sign up while you buy a challenge pack, because the story of the journey is the strongest part. People relate to the journey way more than they relate to the destination. And I know like it's so much easier just to let people just to like start and like sign up as a coach when they're done. Like that feels more natural, and it's harder to make the sale of getting someone to sign up as a coach before they even start anything. However, they will be more successful if they start sharing immediately, right? People want to see your life and your body change right before their eyes. Like that, I've gotten so many comments on that. They're like, oh my gosh, like I started noticing like in February, like your arms started to look different. And I'm like, yeah, well, I started 80 day obsession in January. So that makes sense. You gain people's trust by showing up every single day, not necessarily like the finish line, right? But just showing up. And all of you guys are so good at that. You're so incredible at showing up. But I think that you just need to think about like, you trust people who are consistent in your life, right? You don't trust the people who like don't follow through and are always starting over. And I know that it can be, I mean, there are days I'm like, man, I just want to like not Instagram. And some days I don't. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm taking a break from Instagram stories. It's rare. But literally, I really feel like that. And I know that sounds so silly possibly, but I really feel like showing up every single day is the trust that people need. So I want to talk about audience curated content. I don't know if you know this story. So you guys know the Kiki challenge, obviously. Kiki. Mary Alice did it. So do you guys know how that even started? It's freaking crazy. It is the most amazing story ever. So a guy named Shiggy, he already had a big following. He just was like outside of his car and like made up that dance and someone recorded it and posted it. Okay. And it went viral, obviously. This all happened within the span of 30 days. Okay. 30 days. And he started doing In My Feelings challenge, hashtag do the Shiggy, whatever. People started doing it. People started loving it. I don't know. I'm missing the part where it started to be a moving car. And I think that people are like legit getting hurt from that, which is not ideal. I don't know where that happened, but it's like a huge thing, obviously. Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen Drake's music video, but it's literally that dance in the music video. And Drake paid him $250,000 just because of that one Instagram post, because that was like, that made, to me, that is like the perfect example of audience curated content, right? Drake saw that this song was not even supposed to be popular, right? It wasn't even supposed to be a good song, but Drake saw that this was a viral thing happening on Instagram. And so he decided to make that content his content for his music video. It's brilliant. It's perfect, right? It's like, that is how you do it. So, and I also noticed this about Rachel Hollis. She's always like doing whatever she hears from the people. So on her movie, she said something like, whatever the people want. Like if they want a tour, we'll give them a tour. If they want a podcast, we'll give them a podcast. If they want merch, we'll get the merch. If they want a cookbook, I'll buy, like literally whatever she hears that other people want, she is creating. And I'm really trying to do that through polls, through questions on Instagram, through Instagram posts, like even like when I do like a Q&A day, if someone asks a question about a topic, I will maybe answer that in Instagram stories, maybe create an entire blog post on it, maybe write a newsletter on it, maybe make an Instagram post and a face. Like I will repurpose that content, but I know that it's going to be valued because someone asked, right? I'm not just like coming up with these thoughts in my brain. So think about what they need, ask what they need, don't assume what they need. That comes from this as well. Good leaders ask great questions. He's talking about the power of questions and how you control the room and you control the environment if you ask questions. Quit talking about yourself. We talked about this last night, but quit talking about yourself and start asking other people what they need. And that is going to give you clarity on your content, which is going to inevitably grow your following because people are going to share your content because you're sharing what they need. Sorry, I went my high horse on that, but I'm really seeing the value of that. Share every part of your life. This is so hard because I waver between like I'm down for being vulnerable. I am an open book. I'll tell you anything, but I will not get on my Instagram and be a Debbie Downer. I will never, ever do that. And sometimes you get in this mindset that like being vulnerable is like it's like something bad in your life that you're sharing. But I think there's always a way to talk about vulnerability in a way that's bright and light and maybe not fun, but honest and in a lighthearted way, people want it and they're going through the same exact thing. If you're going through the motions of just like the usual routine, the everyday routine, the wake up, the do this, the next, going through the motions, people see that you're not being genuine. People can read that. Another huge thing, that we talked about last night in Clearly Confident is like, be genuinely interested in other people. And I think that like when you are asking questions on Instagram or asking questions in real life, right? People can feel if you're asking them because you want an answer from them, right? Instead of being genuinely interested in their life and genuinely messaging them back saying, hey, like, tell me a little bit more about that. I want to hear, like, genuine. There's a huge difference between wanting an answer so that you can make more content and being genuinely interested. I also feel like that this changed my life as well. When you talk about things, whatever you talk about, it's going to be attracted to you 100%. Talk about the business opportunity 2 times a week. This is something that I'm doing like in direct messages behind the scenes a lot because guys, I do individual calls with anybody who inquires. So I really can't like do and I might have to change that up, but I really can't do an individual call with people that like don't pre-qualify, right? I need them to pre-qualify. So behind the scenes, I am individually messaging on Facebook too, believe it or not. Oh my gosh, I actually do Facebook and Instagram. So 2 times a week. But I think that y'all should talk about it on your Instagram stories. 110%, 2 times a week. Ask if people are ready to share for accountability. So as you're talking about a program, maybe I think Nicole did this really well. She did a Facebook group to talk about in Facebook Live, to talk about the opportunity to be in her Attack Your Anxiety group. But I think a good way to go about this is to do that, yes, but then also talk about it and ask them if they're ready to share for accountability. They're going to see you do it anyway, right? So they're going to be more likely to do it. They see you sharing, so they're going to be like, hey, well, Nicole's doing it, or, Ellis is doing it. I feel like maybe I could probably do it. People are scared of the judgment, and they're scared to share it, which is super normal. But I think the way that you talk about it is the way that you could inspire so many people. Because like I said, people relate to the journey. They don't relate to the destination. They don't want to see a super shredded, fit girl. They want to see someone going through the hard stuff. And I think that's the biggest misconception as a coach, because they're like, I'm not fit, whatever. It's like, that's actually an advantage for you, believe it or not. I think sharing from day one, like literally starting it as a coach and starting as a program at once, is the best thing that you could possibly do. Right from the beginning, give the gift to someone else of the business opportunity. In fact, I think I kind of want to do a webinar on this where I like share about the fitness program, but also share the opportunity as a coach at the same time. That is a good idea. I just thought of that, like selling it in that way. That is good. So, yeah, I do this a lot. I will go through and find people that look like me. And then I'll go see who they follow and see if I can find even more people that look like me. I hate to say this, but like it helps looking at people and really seeing like, okay, do they look like someone I could vibe with? Do they look like they have the same interests? Maybe they're married, maybe they're in like whatever. Do they have similar things about me that I could relate to? Something I like to do, I like to send messages before bed. I like to send like, I have, my scripts or whatever, and that's all in the coach group, by the way, or the coach hub. I kind of will send like 5 or 10, depending on what I have going on. And then I like to wake up with at least 10 messages back. That's like my goal. Another thing that I like to do is in my calendar, I like to write down the Success Club points that I have at the end of that day, every day. And I try to beat it each and every day. That helps you grow your business for sure. When you are looking at that Success Club number and you try to beat it every single day, that really helps. It helps having it right in front of you. Something about that is really amazing. And then also, guys, I would just want to just say this, that yes, I do think you can start running a business in 1 hour a day, but I also feel like that's only going to get you so far. I think starting there is a great place to start, but I really want to encourage you to fight for time, fight for the freedom, fight for finding help in some part of your life, whether it's I don't know, getting someone to clean your house or getting kids to your parents' house. Just fight for a little bit more than 1 hour, because I think the quantity time will end up equaling into quality work. I really do. If you want to make 6 figures, act like you're already making it. Just walk the walk the talk the talk. If you want to be a 2-star diamond, that's my goal, to be a 2-star diamond. Just act like you already are. I totally already believe that is true. And I just act like it's already happening. I have it on my vision board. I look at it every day. It says I am a 2-star coach, a 2-star diamond coach. I act like it as a coach right now. I'm acting like I'm a 2-star diamond coach as I'm talking to you. Walk like you already got it, and it will come across in your posts, in the way you talk, in your actions, and people will believe you, which will make you believe you even more. It makes a huge difference. So that's really all I had. Those were my thoughts. That's something that I'm working on over these next couple of weeks. Oops. Wait, what's happening here? Sorry. Do y'all have any why can't I? Oh, there it is. Any questions, any thoughts? I have about 10 minutes.
I have a question.
Go for it.
So in my Facebook community and in my Live For Challenge group, I think that this is kind of general across the board. I mean, when you look at how many people are in the virtual wellness studio and then how many people engage, the ratio is
totally
way off.
Totally.
So that's just my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Getting people to engage and
yeah. It's super hard, honestly. Anybody have any comments on that? Here, I'm gonna unmute Nicole. Nicole said she had a question. I mean, for me, when, especially at the beginning, I really, Nicole said, what did she ask? She's texting me. She's talking about getting people engaged in their in the group, in the program, in the community group. I individually message people all the time. I'm just hey, just checking in. How are you? You've been really quiet. Just want to make sure you're doing okay. I would love, and honestly though, I was the person who would not engage in a Facebook group. Think about who you were as before all this. I don't know if I would have engaged. So I think about the me, and I'm okay, who what would someone have to say to me to get engaged? And I think that a lot of people love to be needed. They love to feel needed. And I think the way I like to think about it is hey, think about all the people that you could help with a post that you're encouraging. That's kind of the route I usually like to take, just because that's how I am. And I feel that a lot of people tend to be that way. I don't know. What do y'all think? I definitely don't have all the answers. Anybody?
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
It's totally fine. She's talking about getting people to engage in a Facebook group. She's struggling with that.
So, was somebody going to say something? Because I don't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Ellis and I are going to try out the My Challenge Tracker app for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I found that I really get terrible engagement in the Facebook group. And Ellis can attest to that because she's in the group.
Yeah.
She's killing it in the group, but I'm going to try out the My Challenge Tracker because it's a way, I think it kind of forces them to engage a little bit more. And then I can let you guys know what we learn from trial and error of that.
Yeah, I do feel My Challenge Tracker app actually feels less scary for some reason. I don't.
Well, I'm doing that, and the same two that are active on that are pretty much the only ones that will say anything on my Facebook group. So,
but here's the thing, Steph, like the way I think about it too is like you can't control them.
right.
Like, you can't make people do anything.
Yeah.
Like, all you can do is be the best coach that you can possibly be and message them and check in on them. But like at the end of the day, you can't make them do anything.
Right.
You know? So I feel like that's out of your control. I feel like you just do what you know how to do. But I think that like you do what you can.
Yeah.
And you just continue to focus on finding more people than necessarily people that are in it that aren't really doing it. I can't force people to follow through. I can't.
Yeah.
You know? That's how I think about it. Nicole, you had a question?
Yeah. So do you mind sharing how to get to Diamond, or have you shared that?
Yeah. So I have like a screenshot. Well, you can't see it, but I'll pull it up. So you have
I can look later.
No, it's fine. You have a coach on each side, left and right. Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
Which is Emerald.
Yep, Emerald. And then each coach on each side also is Emerald.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That's
And then
Diamond.
you have an additional, like 4 coaches on your left and 4 coaches on your right. So you have an Emerald on each side not an additional 4, but an additional 3 on each side. So a total of 8 coaches, with 2 of them being Emerald on each side. I should be, but I just messed up everything when I can't even talk about it. I get so frustrated. But in my placement, I just messed up. So does that make sense? So here, I'll share this just for the recording so people can see it. So you have a Emerald. This is one of your coaches. This is another one of your coaches, and they're Emerald. That's why they're green. And then on one, so these are your coaches. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of them are Emerald. Does that make sense?
So that's how you get Diamond.
Yes.
And then what would be like a 2-star Diamond?
So 2-star Diamond is, hold on, it's basically when like your coaches, when you have 2 coaches that are also Diamond. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Yeah. So the highest you can get is like a 15-star Diamond.
Yep.
# goals.
Yeah.
Once a coach is set on like left or right, that's it. You can't move them.
No.
Yes.
You have like 72 hours.
That's crazy to me.
I know, but then think about how everybody's, but like.
Yeah, because people can like work the system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Also, guys, I'm in my dining room right now. I don't know if you guys can tell that. I don't want to talk about it. It's fine. Anybody else?
Nice.
Also,
about giving your followers what they need.
Yeah.
And polls and questions. Sometimes I feel like I'm not getting any. Like I try to change it up, I try to talk about different things, but like over the weekend, when I did the Q&A, and I totally made up my own questions because
that's fine. That's fine.
I don't mind faking it, but I just don't know what to give them. They're not responding to me.
Yeah. First of all, it's totally fine, honestly. But like the way I think about it is also just like the individual conversations you're having, the typical, and we're going to talk about this in Clearly Confident, but like the typical concerns and objections and rejections, like that's how you are going to talk to people because they're already, you already know that they're thinking that anyway. The point, you want to get in their head. Right. And you always come back to, hey, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? Well, that's what they're thinking. What's in it for them? Like constantly think about the value that you have for them, how it will benefit them, and talk about it in that way. And I would just think about those values that you wrote down. Like I would talk about them Like they're your content and they're your questions. That's what I would do.
I also feel like until our followers are built up to a bunch of people that don't know us personally,
Yeah,
we have to fake it. Carrie, I did not know you faked it. That was awesome.
good job. That's okay. That's okay. Guys, I fake it all the time. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's only 2 more spots left, which I feel like that you don't need to, like, that's hard because you want to build people's trust and keep it, right? But there are times that I'm like, hey, there are 2 spots left, even though I could take 5 or I could take 100 more, honestly. But, sometimes make it till you make it. It's okay. I do that all the time, especially in the beginning. Oh, my gosh.
I just hate
Can
to
I
say
ask one more thing?
and then baby the only one in the group.
No, you're not alone. You're not alone. Yeah, Nicole, go ahead.
So I talked to a girl. I had like a phone call with her, and she's like doing amazing, sharing her journey. She's on 80 Day, and because she was sharing so publicly and she's like killing it, I thought talk to her about the coach opportunity, because I haven't been open in my stories or sharing posts about the coach opportunity. I actually have one in like my draft that I've been wanting to post, but I haven't yet. And I'm kind of waiting for Attack Your Anxiety to like get going. But anyway, I had a phone call with her, and the phone call, it felt so awkward. And like, I know this girl, and it was literally like a 5-minute phone call. And I was like, I'd already talked to her about it through Messenger and through like email. And I was like, I think this would be so great. Here's what the opportunity looks like. And she's like, wait, you can like make money and do this? And I'm like, yeah, like you'd be able to make some money for your Shakeology to get it paid for, because I know you're like so bought in and you're already sharing your journey. And typically that's the hardest part. And like you're on the journey. And she literally, like, I just said that. She seemed so interested. And then like 2 minutes later, I stopped talking, and she's like, yeah, I just don't think it's good for me right now. And I was like, okay. And I was like shocked, because she seemed so into it when we were messaging.
Yeah.
I thought this is going to be a quick phone call, and I'm going to set up the coach link
so
for her.
There's a deeper concern there. There's something so much deeper there for her to just like shut down like that. And so like what I would do is just ask questions. I'd be like, why don't you think it's a good concern? What makes you feel that way? Like literally keep asking questions until you really find out why, because there's something way more for her to
I
like
did
shut
that.
down.
I asked like 2 or 3 questions, and they were all really just kind of like silly things, but I was like, I don't know if she's just.
Yeah, they're fake. That's fake news, fake concerns. You got to, as we call it in the sales world, smoke them out. You got to smoke them out and get the smoke out of the way so you can see what it is.
So how would you recommend me like potentially following up with her again? Because that was like 2 weeks ago, and then I've kind of like let her be. But I'm still
sharing.
She shares every day, and I message her and I'm like, girl, you're doing such a great job, but now it feels a little awkward. Yeah.
I would wait like 1 more week, and I would just say, hey, I want to check in with you. Do you have time to chat? And then, or no. I would just say, hey, you have been on my heart. Like make her feel like it's like an honor that you kind of like, oh my gosh, me, like I've been on your heart type of thing. Like, you've been on my heart. I've been thinking about you so much. I can't get you out of my head. I know that you'd be so incredible at this, and it would bless you so much. And I would just ask her in a message. I would just say, can you tell me a little bit more about why you don't feel like this is for you? I just been thinking about you so much, and I just know you'd be really
I love that.
Yeah.
Because I see how this could be absolutely perfect for the season of life that she's in.
Yeah.
And we even talked about that on the phone, and she was like, yeah. And then she just shut down and was like, no, I just am not interested. I was like,
and also remember what's in it for her. What is the coach job? Not what's in it for you, but what's in it for her, right? Hey, what's in it for you is the opportunity to make an income or whatever, make money. And what that means for you is that you are going to be able to make money doing something you're already doing. that sounds really
Yeah.
easy, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. And then we can touch
Thank
base on
you.
that again, Nicole.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, girl. All right, I'll see some of you in a little bit. And I love you guys. Let me know if you have any other questions. Bye.